Welcome everyone to another podcast of the Roof of Africa, and we are super excited to have the one and only Ross Whitehead here with us today. He's going to share a little bit about the roof, the ins and the outs, what it takes to put a great event together and get you guys excited and tell you what to expect, give you guys a little bit of information that will help you prepare yourselves. Ross, welcome so much.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you so much for coming out here. We know you're a busy man.
No problem.
Flying all over the world. You guys are doing the World Championship, the FIM World Championship.
Yeah.
I'm sure that alone has been a challenge.
For sure.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Ross, yeah, we're going to jump into roof and everything about the roof. We would like to obviously get your input. I mean, there's no other better person to share what goes into an event like this, what's excited for 2025, what can the Oaks expect, and how can they prepare themselves better to achieve their goals. So I think, Ross, maybe if you can just give us, tell us, what does it take? I mean, the roof is such a legendary event. What is it?
Yeah, Larry, I think, working with us in 2023, there's so many moving parts. The biggest challenge is to build the right team.
Yes.
For me, obviously, being international is to have the right team on the ground.
Yeah.
A massive element of trust.
Yeah.
Working close with Laura in Lesotho as well, which is a big part of the race.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, to me, fundamentally is building a good team.
And Ross, I know obviously, you can't let out too much of the events, the routes, what it's like. 2025, what can we expect?
Well, I think, the most exciting part is it's the final round of the Hard Enduro World Championship. So we're bringing a lot of international flair to the game, but not losing sight of the tradition and the legacy of the Roof of Africa. So, what's exciting for me is that we've brought back some old legacy legend passes and climbs, coupled together with some new terrain and new riding. For the last 2 years, we've always wanted to implement like a 60-40 type of scenario where we have 60% of well-known riding and 40% of new terrain. So we're trying to achieve that this year again, and working with Graham McLaughlin has been a pleasure, and I think he's got the brief and he's getting it right.
Yes, yeah, Graham McLaughlin's been a legend himself in the roof and racing and motorsport. Ross, what's the feeling like for the international guys? I mean, they travel the world. I'm sure some of them, they've been to the roof before. Manny's been here. What's their feeling like?
Well, I think it's a level of excitement, as it's the first time it's been on the championship. Probably a little bit of their reserved judgment till they get here, I suppose. But the general feeling, everyone's excited. Something new that we've implemented on the championship is a new point system. So there's a lot at stake at the roof this year. So there's going to be some exciting racing, and the guys are looking forward to it. The racing is going to go all the way right till the end. So hopefully Manny doesn't run away with it right now, which he's not. Billy had a good win last week. So, if there's no runaway, it means that there's going to be 5-6 top guys fighting for the championship. So that's super exciting for us. Yeah.
And I'm sure with Wade Young's local knowledge, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
For sure. I think for me, with Wade, it's he's going for the 10th year this year to beat Alfie and be the all-time leading winner of the roof. But hey, now we brought a bunch of Oaks to compete with him, so hopefully he can. Hopefully his local knowledge carries him through.
As an outsider and as someone that's been involved with the roof with you guys, it's easy to be seen as someone that tries something new, and it might work, it might not work. But I think it's very important for you guys to try some new stuff, because I mean, the roof is the roof. It's a legendary event. You don't want to change the recipe that works. But I do support you guys in bringing new, fresh ideas, elevating the sports, drawing international riders. So no, I'm super excited to see what you guys are going to pull out the hat for this year. Ross, maybe if we can just chat a little bit about the format. Can you share with us where the start would be, where DSPs would be, distances of the routes, technicality of the routes? What can the guys expect, and what do they need to prepare themselves for?
So I think it's been a long time coming now. We've had a lot of questions about accommodation, where to book, and it's only fair to release where the start and finish of every day will be. We have been waiting. Obviously it's based on our SRs. We've got new SRs coming out in this week. But for sure, we're going back to a place called Music Box, which
Nice.
is, I think, it's where Wade won his first roof, I think,
Yeah.
in 2012. So yeah, everything will be based around that. And yeah, DSP, well, Friday, day one, there will be a start there, and we'll head in a direction which I'm not going to tell you, towards the DSP.
Yeah.
And then do a loop out of that DSP, back to that DSP, back to the finish line. And then on Saturday, there will be, he just mentioned about, you support me in trying new things. Last year we tried the clover leaf system.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get it right, but this year we split in traditional A to B and back, and then Saturday will be a bit of a clover leaf system, so going out and coming back and using the start finish as the DSP area. And then the last sort of loop will be very close, so there'll be a lot of action on the Saturday in and around the DSP. So support crews will see their rider a lot.
That's awesome.
And there'll be a lot of spectating points around it to see all the riders. So
Yes, that sounds awesome.
so that's about as much as I can give on that.
Yeah.
Route distances so far 90 to 110 kilometers.
Wow.
Time, we've got guys starting up next week, testing and timing the routes that we've planned with Graham so far. We're looking at doing top guys, say the top third of each field to finish in 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
And then you can take it from there wherever you fit in thereafter. But
Yeah.
something different this year, I think, that we haven't done in the last 2 years, is that we'll have 10 checkpoints,
Wow.
time checkpoints, and we'll do rolling cutoffs, so that guys, I think the last 2 years we've had the cutoff at the DSP, which is more or less the halfway point. And if you'd made it just into DSP in 5 hours, we were getting guys 10, 12 hours on the bike. So we don't want that to happen this year. So we'll have the rolling cutoffs, and every sort of checkpoint will be near an exit route, the easy way back to the DSP. So
Just that sounds amazing, Ross. And I mean, talking about all those checkpoints and the finish, the starts, the DSPs, I've seen in the past the challenges of hosting events in Lesotho, which is international, obviously, but getting through the border. I don't think people understand what a challenge it is to get outside suppliers to come and get involved with the roof. Simple things like toilets, food vendors, coffee vendors, anything on that, the supplies you guys will be using for this year?
yeah, that's a contentious issue always. As you know, on our first roof, we took a bit of a bath on everything we brought through the border. We kept it safe, we kept it easy.
Yeah.
Well, not easy in terms of the fact that we know those suppliers well, those suppliers that you introduced me to. So, but the roof is a Lesotho event, and to me that the economic impact should be felt by the nation. It's a country that's struggling at the moment. So we're doing a mix of last year, of course, we had some issues. So we've learned from those. Some of our suppliers have learned from those, but we are going back to more trusted suppliers in sort of our suppose key roles that we will be bringing in from South Africa again. As far as food vendors go, I think we had a good mix last year. Most of them were local. We only had 1 or 2 that came from South Africa, so we'll keep that mix the same. Right now, I don't have the names of the guys and what sort of brands, but we are looking at 1 or 2 like decent chicken brands that people know well. So I think it's going to be exciting. I think everyone's learned a lot from the last 2 years. So I'm super excited to see where the new team have got the brief right so far, and I think it's going to be epic. That's the way I would describe it.
It can only be. Ross, we've got a UB team, a bunch of folks, first timers doing the Roof of Africa. They're training hard, building up to the event. And the questions that come from them is legit questions like, what do we need to pack? Are we taking pressure washers? Are we taking water containers? Do we need to prep our bikes at the finish of the event, or do we go back to the facilities where we're staying? Maybe you can share a little bit about that. Will there be a bike wash at the finish, or where would they station?
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to announce again that Motel's back on board. So
that's awesome.
Thank you, Motel. They will supporting us with the bike wash. I think it's become sort of a key player in what we supply service to the riders. So definitely there will be that. The hope is that we set up a proper DSP where guys can set up for the weekend. I mean, traditionally we know, guys come back and forth, they break down every day, they go back to their hotels or accommodation, and then they come back. So we're setting up where we are, we've got a big DSP, so guys we're encouraging people to, not leave your bike overnight, but just pop your tent down and, do most of what you have to do on site, because it's the race village and the DSP right next to each other. It creates a lekker gees for everybody.
Yeah.
And, and a good visual, for everyone, because it's where we are. And if people know Music Box, it's you can see it from the road, and so it'll be quite a spectacle.
Yes.
So for me, for sure, it would be, the guys do everything, clean the bike after, and then prep it the next day on site. That's literally, if you're staying in Avani, which is probably 55 minutes to the start line, at least it's just bring your bike, get on your bike and go. So we're hoping and we're encouraging everybody to do all their prep on site at the DSP.
Yes, that sounds amazing. Ross, a little bit off roof topic, FIM World Championship, Extreme Enduro. What does it take to first of all get the roof on the calendar, and what is your challenges as the promoter to get the international riders, teams? I mean, obviously it's expensive for them to travel all around the world. So just maybe share a little bit about what does it take to get the roof on the map as
it's knowing the right people.
Yes, yeah.
No, that's, it was always my goal to get involved in some capacity with the World Championship. I try to work with the last promoters. I've been on the championship since 2018. So, so I think when we won it, someone described me as the man popping his head over the parapet.
Okay.
And so just looking at ideas and how we could change things, and obviously then got roof, try to implement ideas that I have, maybe move too fast.
Okay.
So to a standard that everyone in South Africa is like, but the roof has always done that.
Yeah.
So I think going back to your question, is that what does it take? There's a big investment.
Yeah.
Myself and Robbie Hunter have invested a lot in both the roof and the World Championship. But this is where it all started, Louwrens. If people cast their eyes back to before it was a West Series, there was Red Bull that put money into making movies, and there were 4 core events in those movies: Erzberg, Romaniacs, Sea to Sky, and the Roof of Africa. So for me, this is a tradition. It's the mother of hard enduro. So big investment. It takes a lot to convince the teams to come.
Yeah.
But we have to, as a championship, we're trying to financially support, or financially, how does that look? We accommodation, maybe flights, maybe entries. The biggest thing doing an international race is supporting these guys with bikes and that on the ground. So we've got some Beta South Africa have come on board big time to support the Beta riders. We're talking to other brands, Shoko are looking after the Shoko boys. Obviously we're looking to KTM and them to help out, or whoever. It could be dealers. I think there's great opportunities for dealers to get involved with a pro. Manny and Billy for sure will be looked after by factory, but then you've got the likes of Mitch Brightmore,
yes,
and some of these other kids that drive that dealers can get this opportunity to have him race underneath their canopy. So that's sort of those type of things. It's not just the roof, it's any event that we have outside of Europe. The event organizer has to step up more than a local event in Europe to get the event there. But it's our mandate with the FIM to have a truly global world championship, but it's a challenge. Hard enduro is not Formula One. It is a fast, I suppose it was, or it is back again, the fastest growing facet in enduro or off-road two-wheel motorsport. So the next level is for us is to get it more mainstream media and live streamed, which will bring in more investment into the sport, and then we can grow it the way we want to grow it. But right now, baby steps. We, being the Roof of Africa, then take my hat off and being the championship. It's a little bit difficult to navigate, but for sure. I mean, when we had it on the championship with Charon, and it fell away, it was always something that really hit me quite hard to make sure that we get back there so we can showcase, the Roof Africa to the world and what we can offer. So, yeah.
Yes, that sounds exciting. Ross, I'm sure there's a lot of South Africans, they watch these top riders on social media, Erzberg, Romaniacs, all the videos, and now they're coming to our doorstep. Do you think that it's going to draw a lot more spectators? And are you guys catering for spectators at the 2025 Roof for them to get value out of it?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a buzz in Lesotho. I think we've always tried to navigate where, I think traditionally the big fan base was based around the race and the riders and people coming from South Africa. But I think over the last couple of years that it's evolved to a sense of pride in Lesotho. So we do get a lot of local support. So for this year, we're building a festival atmosphere around the race. So we've got another eventing company that we're working with that are creating spectator zones and are creating a festival vibe. So we'll have a pre-opening party and we'll have a closing party, which will be bands and DJs and that type of thing. And so I think we're trying to create, it's the final round, so we're trying to create a big wow factor.
I can imagine.
But then and decent spectator routes that people can get to quite easily. A lot of stuff near the tar road, so that people, traditionally our local fans like yourself and I suppose many of your customers, guys will rock up on their plastics and chase around and it's easy that way. But then you've got the guys that come in their buckies that don't know anything. So we're trying to keep that close for those type of people to see. And so I think, well, I know we've got the recipe right, I think.
Well, Ross, I think we've covered all the bases. Is there anything you want to add to the 2025 Roof?
I think, guys, come out. We're sitting on like 360, 380 entries now. Last year we had 508. I think that's the limit. We'll always go to 500. So come out. I think you're gonna have a good time. We've learned from last year. So we've got a good team. I'm super impressed with our team. So they're getting the job done, and I think it's going to be epic. So if I have to describe it in one word, it's epic. It's going to be an epic Roof.
I was actually going to ask you, give me one word. Epic that's
epic. I think it's a bit
awesome.
cliche, but
it's
for
epic.
sure. Come out and test us again.
Well, Ross, thank you so much for you and your team for all the effort you guys do. I think no one really understands what goes into an event like this, especially being an international world championship, one of the rounds. It's a lot of pressure. So thank you for you and your team. And I'm sure everyone's excited. We're definitely going to be there as the UB team. And
Cool. Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks so much. A little bit something, a little small from the UB team, just to say thanks for coming out.
It's a biltong, but
Hey,
well done.
We know you're flying out of the country later today, so
Cool.
that's
Thank
a
you
little
very
bit of a
much.
snack,
Thanks a lot, team.
Coming up on the next episode of the UB podcast, we'll be sitting down with Moto South Africa and they'll be showing us exclusive new products they brought out for the Roof of Africa. Stay tuned.